It's the cruelty shown to a little girl that sticks with investigators, and the search continues for her mother, also believed to be a victim of murder. But who killed them and why? Tonight in Unsolved, Katie Jeffries takes us back to 1988 in a case still talked about in Columbia County.
It was believed that Detra McGuire and her baby Rashonda were on their way to the store just for a quick errand. But a horrible discovery on I-10 has sent their family down a path of questions with no answers and no justice. But detectives in Columbia County are still investigating this case, and they say they won't give up. I-10 can be a monotonous drive, a rarely changing scenery of trees and pavement for miles. But on the evening of November 2nd, 1988, around 9 p.m., the Columbia County Sheriff's Office got a call from a truck driver. A toddler was found dead on I-10 westbound just north of Lake City. Blood-stained pavement and the toddler's injuries indicated she was likely thrown from a moving car.
At the time, the Sheriff's Office did not know who the baby was, the name of the child. So the child was listed as Jane Doe.
The next day, the Columbia County Sheriff's Office got another call, this time to report that two people were missing, a mother, Detra McGuire, and her daughter, Rashonda.
The Sheriff's Office took pictures of the child that was found on I-10 to the family of the missing persons report, and they were able to identify the child that was found on I-10 as Rashonda McGuire.
Sergeant Joshua Green with the Columbia County Sheriff's Office says reports from 1988 indicate Detra McGuire and her daughter Rashonda were last seen on November 2nd around 7 p.m. leaving their Gatorwood Apartments home in Lake City. 3 hours later, Rashonda's body would be found. A search ensued to find Detra McGuire or her body. Cadaver dogs searched the woods of I-10 but turned up nothing. Then came a break. Detra's car was found at the L&G truck stop in Ellisville, a small town between Lake City and Gainesville. Locked up, parked, and Sergeant Green says there was no sign of struggle inside or outside. Detra's purse still inside, but Detra had seemingly vanished.
Detra, even though her body's never been found, you do believe this is a homicide. She was killed.
I do believe it is a homicide.
Sergeant Green says it took him about 6 months to go through the binders of information in this case, and investigators deeply analyzed the events of November 2nd, 1988. The report that Detra and Rashonda had left for the store came from Detra's live-in boyfriend at the time.
And he was the last person to see both Detra and Rashonda alive.
Sergeant Green says reports indicate he told investigators he had stayed home and went to sleep.
And he took a polygraph, correct?
He did.
And failed?
Yes.
Detra's older child had gone with a family member that night to a local fair.
And when she came home, there was nobody home?
Yes, when she came home, she said she went to the apartment to get some clothing. She knocked on the door. A neighbor came outside and said, "Hey, there's nobody home." They all left.
Detectives also investigated a man that was possibly Rashonda's father, though that has never been confirmed. But reports indicated that man was in the military at the time of the murders and believed to be overseas.
I don't have a specific suspect, but I can say we have not been able to rule out anybody.
To reveal new leads, Sergeant Green says they are turning to technology and advances in DNA.
There are items that are being retested right now that I sent to FDLE's crime lab, and I'm waiting to hear back right now.
Though his hope still lies with the community, and that those with information in this crime will come forward.
And maybe one of the neighbors that lived near Rashonda and Detra, maybe they remember something that wasn't told to the investigators back in 1988. You know, they could maybe come forward and talk to us about it. You know, some of that maybe heard something from a person that was odd, and maybe they make a connection from hearing this to what, you know, somebody has told them in the past.
Something that could unlock the mystery as to where Detra McGuire is and finally bring justice for a mother and her little girl. If you know anything about the disappearance of Detra McGuire and the murder of Rashonda, please contact the Columbia County Sheriff's Office. Katie Jeffries, First Coast News, on your side.